If nothing else, Evangelion has the music. What the hell are we looking at? There's so much stuff. The MOTU. My words have been failing me today, so you're gonna do that today, because this is not a Moto like my phone. It's a MOTU M2. The MOTU M2 is an interface. If you don't know what an interface is, it interfaces with a computer. That computer, not this computer, not today. Sorry, baby. Just you. USB into box. And then the box talks out and in. So we have a beautiful TAC 55 microphone on this GatorWorks stand. All links in the description below, by the way. And actually, I'm peeking that a little bit because XLR connection to the front. This has 2 microphone inputs, or line, or guitar. In case you have 2 guitars, if you have 2 guitars and you're willing to play both at the same time, please say so in the comments. And it's got a VU, which we'll get to. It's got a big knob for controlling these outputs, which are not going to powered monitors right now for reasons. And we've got this individually controlled 1/4 inch. All right, hold on. I'm going to shut off 48 volt so I can unplug this, because that's a rule. That's apparently a rule. I'm going to loop this over here. I'm going to leave the backs plugged in because we'll get to that. Actually, let's look at the back first. Kensington lock power switch. I hate power switches in the back. I feel like on an interface, you're really not going to shut it off very often. Like ever. Like I've never shut off an interface. I have one over there at the Tascam. It's never shut off. Ever. And, but they have it in the back. However, I will say this, and I'm going to yell, shit! Shit every product. They put it not here where I have to reach over the top. It's like in the most convenient corner spot ever. Little round thing. Okay. Okay. You know what? I kind of, I'm okay. MIDI in and out, which I don't use. I don't have anything to do MIDI. I'm not doing Ableton or anything like that. So we're going to ignore those for this review. On the back here, you have a set of RCA outputs and a set of 1/4 inch outputs. However, these are not just mono. These are 3-pole, which means they are balanced outputs. And in the world of an interface, you hook it up. It's a USB DAC. It's a USB microphone preamp. It also will be your preamp for your speakers. And you can use RCA to just like edifiers or something like lower end edifiers. Or if you have like Atom T5Vs or something else that's fancy, you can wire, you have to get a special wire or an adapter to go from 1/4 inch TRS, not TS, TRS to XLR, and then you can use balanced. Now, what I'm doing to not have to add on top of everything that's currently here more speakers, we'll just, for the sake of argument, say that, hey, look at these studio monitors. They look amazing because these are hooked up to the 789 through the RCA. And then the balance outputs are going into this Shelly Labs Erish, and they're hooked up to the T60RP balanced. So this is my studio monitors now. Aren't they lovely? They're actually more expensive than most of the studio monitors I have, just pointing that out. What that really is a way for me to check the DAC. Because the problem with a lot of these interfaces is they work just fine for being an interface for the microphone. They have 48 volt. We'll look at the front. They have 48 volt that they could feed into the microphone. By the way, this has Amphenol. These are Amphenol connectors, literally here. That's not bad for the price point this is sitting at, which is not high. Like I was like, oh, Scarlett is good. But you know what? We'll get to it. Microphone in, or line in, or guitar in. Microphone in, or line in, or guitar in. You get 2. They got their individual Amphenol connectors. 48 volt monitor input, so you hit monitor, and you can see on this beautiful screen, there is a VU screen here that lets you turn on and off the monitor, turn on and off the 48 volt. Red comes on there. Each one has their individual gain knob. It shows you your output VU. You get your monitor adjustments here. Full Metal Alchemist, which the monitors are not affected by these knobs. That's just showing you what your output is. And there are clip indicators above all of it. So if you were somehow able to clip, which I don't think you are, Like, I guess if I turned off Wasabi and then I put it to a thing and then I put like a really bad equalization curve on there, maybe I could test that. But I haven't gotten it to clip on any source. And then you have a headphone output with its own knob. So we got 4 knobs, headphone output, 2 mics in. It's a basic interface. The only difference is this one's fucking nice. Like, just look at these feet. Look at this like giant rub. This whole thing is rubber with these like suction feet, and the whole case is just black. It's nothing. Here's the thing: I do DACs and amps all the time, so usually build is like, all right, it's built standardly. This own X8 Magic DAC is built really fucking well, and I like it. This is built really fucking well, and I like it for different reasons. The thing that attracted me the most to this, like do a review of this, is the full VU. Because usually, I'll plug the microphone back in so you can actually see me yell without screwing up the headphone cable. All right, we're going to turn 48 volts on. We're going to turn this up, and you can see that I am talking in input. Oh, too loud. Input 1. Input 1. Input. Put. Put in your mom's mouth. Put it in your. Put it in your mom's mouth. So that's perfect now. It does take a little bit too long for that peak indicator to go away, but I guess you could also argue that the peak indicator stays there for a little bit longer, so you have a chance to catch it in case it does happen. So we have that. Now, if I pause the music here, which is acting as our USB source, I put on monitor, and now, and I don't know how you're going to hear this, you can hear, I should be using the headphone jack in the front, we'll get there, but I can now turn this up and then I can hear myself through the headphones, through the unit. So we are monitoring the microphone through the back outputs, which are for the speakers, which could be dangerous because if you have a microphone here and a speaker here and you say monitor, and it's just gonna, there's a feedback loop that's gonna eliminate you from existence. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten that cheese before starting. Let's turn this down. Let's take these off because these count as a studio monitor. Remember, those are studio monitors, not the type of studio monitors that are a headphone, the type of studio monitors that are on your desk and giant usually. I would have probably liked to have pulled down the fluids. I don't think they sell those anymore. Man, the fact that those are on my wall and they're just so agonizing to listen to from just like... It's not even a bad thing. It's just like, here's your music, you fuck. They're like masochist speakers because they just describe everything. So let's put this back in. So now I turn this up and I can hear myself talking. So if you think about what you could do with this on your desk and why, wow, it's so weird to do a review where I could actually hear myself. Let me lower that. The point, one of the big points of this unit, let's just say that you are a newbie and you want to do something on your desk. Zeos, I want to put speakers on my desk and I want to put headphones and I want to have a microphone that doesn't suck. $190 currently on Amazon. But Zeos, don't interfaces have shitty headphone amps? Usually. This one is not like, oh my God, don't buy a heresy. But I'd say it's at least worth like its cost for a headphone amp alone. And then you don't have to buy any sort of a preamp for your speakers, because it is that. This is a DAC, a speaker preamp, a headphone amp with a separate knob from the speakers, so I could literally just be like, speakers go up, headphones go up, speakers go up, headphones go up. And then you could adjust your microphone, and you can just stop monitoring your microphone, and you put your music back on, and you can go, speakers. And then on top of all of that, you got a baller ass VU, and I was saving this, the nicest knobs ever on a device. Now, I'm sure there's been more quality made knobs, but fuck that. These are black steel knurled knobs. These feel like what a tactical flashlight is made out of. Not plastic. These aren't plastic. These are metal and sharp, and the indicators are fucking blatant. Look at that line. That turns me on. That's why her leg thing there is black and then white, because you could see it. I totally just made that up just now, but I feel like black and white and the indicators, and it needs to be green. That alone that I can, and they're smooth too. There's where the quality comes in, because I've done Scarletts and I've done other things, and it's like, yeah, it just changes color, it's cool, but this is just metal box. I don't even know if this fascia is plastic or metal. It's got to be plastic, but it looks like metal. And then these knobs come into play, and you're just like, oh, that's satisfactorily fucking amazing. I'm just going to dick with this knob until I'm happy. This is what the Geshelli needs to have. When I was talking about it in the Geshelli review, which I did before this one, I was like, you know what? They really need better like volume knobs, because they have a big shiny knob, and it's like, all right, okay. No, these knobs. I would recommend this unit if it sounded mediocre because of the knobs. Luckily for us, it doesn't sound mediocre. So I'm really going at this not from the perspective of like, you are a professional person that does professional things with professional music. If you wanted me to dip my toes into that little realm, I'll real quick just point at stuff. Apparently it comes with MOTU Performer Lite and Ableton Live Lite for Mac and PC, which gives you 100 instruments and loops and 6 gigs of free loops and samples. All this shit that I don't concern myself with, because I don't make loops and do music. I just listen. But the MOTU literally has like a beautiful website lined up. Look at that. Oh, the Vic Gallery. That guy's got he's using M50Xs, so he's not the best person I've ever met. Here's a guy doing podcasts with it. It really does stand out amongst the crowd of interface as like, well, what? It's not red? Oh, what? It doesn't do this? Or is it USB-C instead of a full-size USB? Yeah. It's great. It's fucking great. And I could sit here with my Neumanns plugged into it, or honestly, any of these headphones. And the headphone amplifier is on par with what I would expect. A minimum from listening to the Scarletts. This shits on the Scarletts as far as headphone amplification. Shits on them. Shits on them. But you can't hear me whispering into that unless I do some mixing later, and I'm not doing that in post. Please don't make me mix it in post. As far as the microphone preamp, solid. At least competes with the Scarlett stuff. There are probably better mic preamps for like $1,000. I'm not going to start comparing against those. My God, the minutia of that. And then you get the ability to just plug in an RCA in the back to speakers, or plug in a balance connection to speakers, or like what I'm literally doing here is you could use the DAC in this, which is fucking solid, and I could tell you that's solid because I could pick this up, do that. Because now I'm just using it as a DAC to feed another amp, a very good amp, on very good headphones. Or if you want to go like, oh, I don't trust that, Zeus. I want you to give more expensive, more, okay. 789 on Aeolus, and I'm not having like a gagging fit because of the DAC output. It is a controllable DAC, so you'd have to just set the volume here and adjust there, or set the volume there and never touch it and adjust here. This is Lost Boys from Hook OST. I'm probably gonna get a copyright match because of that. I've gotten so many copyright matches for these little like 2-second clips that you hear in the background through leaky headphones. I just want to reach through the internet and punch YouTube in the face. And I'm not gonna start putting in claims for all of them, because if you do that more than a few times and they don't like it, they just... This is a wonderful all-in-one. And it's $190. Like, I would expect, for how it's built, which is not fancy, but quality. And for what it can do, which, I mean, all interfaces can do that. Not all of them give you... I wish these were full-size XLRs in the back. It would be a little bit easier. But, you know, fucking fine. I'll accept it. Because you're either going to use... If you really want to go balanced, and on a desk, Here's the story. On a desk, if you're going out from a unit like this to a speaker that's 3 feet away, you really don't need to run balanced. When you run balanced, that's for a long distance. Like this is a hilariously short distance. It's just that the Arish only works with balanced inputs. So it's a great example of what you could do with it. But on a desk, you could use RCA to the right and RCA to the left and be fine. So you can control your speakers here or your output here. You control your headphones here, whichever ones you're using to monitor. And you could be, it doesn't have to be Neumann. It could be anything as long as you could plug in a 1/4 inch. And then you got stereo, and I checked, and here, I have to bring this up. By the way, this saw, oh, stop. I plugged it in, and it's 2020, and I'm like, I was about to say it's 2010. Holy shit. It's 2020. I'm like, why aren't you just working? It does need a driver. It was like 3 megs to download, even though the driver download said it was going to be 11. Maybe it's 11 to install, but it was a 3 meg download. It ran, it restarted my computer, and then this popped up and says, open this window when hardware is connected, yes or no? And I shut that off because I'm like, nah, I'm good. And there you could set the sampling rate and the buffer size, and then you just minimize it or close it. And then here is the sound panel for Windows. And the playback is one thing, and it's called the in-1-2. Or no, I'm sorry, it's called the out-1-2 and playback. And I don't know why it's called the 1-2, whatever. It should be called the MOTU in-1-2, whatever. And the recording options are default device, which is in 1 or 2, which is the fronts, or loop back, which should be every time I play anything. Pause not set up. There it goes. Let's pause. Loop back is everything playing comes back, and you could actually record the loop back. Oh, Jesus Christ. And then there's the loop back mix. So that gives you 3 recording devices when you plug this in. And I haven't had a chance to play with all of them. Those 2 are responding to the music. So you could actually play music, have it come out, go back in as a recording source, put it into Audacity, record yourself singing over music. It's got wonderful things going on. And then to top it all off, they give you a wonderful display to actually like understand. It's not that lagged behind either if I get music playing. Yeah, that's pretty spiffy. Spiffy's the word I was going to use. So yeah, this is a wonderful piece of equipment that just works. I'm probably going to keep it and use it on my desk. I've had this since January. I currently have a Tascam on my desk. And the Tascam was bought because it's the lowest rated interface in the world. It had like 1.5 stars. And it's never given me a problem, but I've never delved into the real minutia because that thing has like fiber optic ins and outs. And that was like, I don't know what it's doing. So I just USB and I'm done. So this, even though it's the MOTU M2, the MOTU M2, that name. For the knobs alone, I'd recommend it. The fact that it can power headphones decently. Like, I wouldn't try to run T60 RPs are here, and I'm running those off of another separate amp. But as long as it's not those, like that sort of level of impossible, this would probably power 99% of headphones just fine. Which that's the biggest problem when you get to like the fucking, what's it called? The Scarletts. They have abysmally low-powered headphone amplifiers, and this does not. So now that this has sorted that out, and by the way, we added all sorts of metal knurled knobs and given you a VU, and we can control the output in balanced or unbalanced, and monitors and fucking why not? Fucking why not? This would be the most compact way to set up a desk. If you're a minimalist, and I know people who are, nothing is more minimal than this. Your headphone goes into it, your speakers go into it, you got knob for microphone, your microphone could go into it. I obviously have like this giant fucking cable on it, but you can just put it like right on top, boom. And now I have a completed unit. I would never actually put it on top, but I mean, that's an option. That's you can't get much more or less than that. Correct. I said a thing and it actually made sense. It's kind of cool sounding. So yeah, I fully endorse the MOTU M2. I have to go see what, oh, I left a ring on it. The rubber bottoms on that, just left a ring. Cancel this whole review, it's done now. Yeah, no, I would shut monitor off unless you want to hear yourself. That's another thing. A lot of people who are gamers and they want to get real mics, and this is a real mic. This Takstar is like $500. Need to hear themselves speaking without delay. Like they need that mix, and a lot of gaming peripherals will do that. But then you have to get into gaming peripherals, and that sort of sucks. With this, you get your desktop mic. You put it, you're playing game there, you put mic here, you put monitor on, you adjust your levels, you say, hey, teammates, asshole teammates, because you have to say asshole. Do I sound good? Cool. And you could hear yourself, you could hear the game, you got a separate control for your, you could literally, I love the fact that you just have the speakers on and just be like, I want to hear speakers now, I want to hear headphones now, I want to hear speakers now, I want to hear headphones now. You got to shut anything off. And if you shut this off, obviously it's going to break everything. Everything breaks. Everything goes away. Did it actually break the, yeah, no, everything's gone. Actually, the loop back didn't, oh, no, it froze. So that's why I don't mind. You're never going to shut it off. It doesn't generate heat. If you're super concerned with the microphones getting fed 48 volts, you could literally shut them off in the front too, which counts as a mute. If you have your perfectly leveled adjustment, you just shut off the 48 volt. Turn the 48 volt on. It starts in like, it says MOTU when you start it, by the way, and it's on. This is a wonderful piece of equipment. In fact, I was always going to start that video series where I did like different desk setups with random equipment I have lying around. Say, here's one option, here's another option. This would be the simplest option. I mean, shit, I fucking added a balanced amplifier to it. And I'm pretty satisfied with the way it sounds. So I mean, if you're in the market for like, well, yes, Zeos, I like this, and I think it has a decent DAC, but I really want to push my headphones a little harder. You can get one of these or the Arco 2.5, and that'll give you a 1/4 inch, but not balance. And this gives you balance, but not 1/4 inch. Or any amp, anything. You could hook up an amp to it, or speakers, or both. You could. This doesn't have to necessarily. This RCA's could go to a speaker. This could go to here, and then you just turn this on and off, and turn the speakers on and off separately. Many fucking options. Many options. Many options. So I mean, keep this thing in mind next time you're putting together a build. Or even better, if your friend says, and you know your friend that knows nothing about audio, and he's got $200. It's like, should I get a sound card? Should I get a Creative Lab sound card? Stop asking me to review Creative Lab stuff. I won't do it because shit like this exists. How the fuck does anything Creative Labs beat this? They don't. Not in the build, not in the sound quality, not in the options, not in the VU. No fucking way does Creative Labs beat this. But for $189.93 or something fucking stupid on Amazon, you get this, you plug a single USB-C cable in, you install some drivers, which people who install graphics cards already know how to do that. And you could get their microphone hooked up, they could put their headphones into it, they can hook their speakers up into it, and all they have is knobs. All you gotta deal with is beautiful knobs and some VUs. And the VUs aren't even adjusted, it's perfect. It's a perfect fucking starter unit. And then when you wanna get serious, you slap a fucking Arish on the top of it, and then you hook up some goddamn headphones, and we do this, and this, and this, and hold on. Hello. Ah, there we go. Wow, that is some... That's it for this review. That's Clara Rockmore Air. That is very... I love this knob. I fucking love this knob. That wallpaper in the description. I'm gonna this for a little bit longer because I love this and I love these. That wallpaper in the description. Links to everything you've seen here in the description. Links to support this channel are in a pinned comment or somewhere in the description at the bottom somewhere. All the headphones are there. If you want to support this channel, please, Patreon and Subscribestar. I bought this unit. This wasn't sent to me. Someone recommended it. I went, you know what? You're cool looking. I'll buy you for that. And it took me a couple months to get to it, but now I'm here and it's good. It's cheaper than a MOTU Magni stack. Headphones like 90% there. DAC is like, I'd say 100% there, except it doesn't have an optical input. And it gives you all, it basically throws a shit sys in there, and VU. And oh, by the way, it's a mic. This makes no fucking sense at $190. So there you go. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday, internet. You get something for cheap. Zeus doesn't cost you that much money, and you win. Everyone wins. So if you want to see these videos early, they're on Patreon and Subscribestar about a week plus early. If you want to ask me any questions, you can do that on the Patreon and Subscribestar. If you want to participate in the yard sales, this probably won't be in the yard sale, but I have that other unit that I'm using. That'll be in the yard sale. A bunch of these headphones, these gaming headphones, wireless, which means I can't use them on this, will be in the yard sale. Things like that once a month from the 1st to the 10th. That's when things are there. It's a blind sign auction. I ship for free to the continental United States and half shipping international. So if you want to bid on something, make sure to check out this channel at the beginning of the month, usually the 1st or the 2nd that video comes out. There's a $10 Patreon chat that, or I should say Telegram chat, because you can access it from either Subscribestar or Patreon. Both those are the exact same benefits, basically. And yeah, ask me any questions you want in that, and I will literally answer you on my phone 75 fucking times a day, because the people in there are crazy. They love things. They just love, people in there like music more than I do. I feel sickened by the amount of music they love. So again, wallpaper things, support, hi-fi guides, and the hi-fi guides forum. I don't think we have an interfaces section. I would just classify this as sort of like a DAC amp combo that happens to have these wild fucking abilities. Because I can get a DAC amp headphone combo that also has a pre-out for, you know, speakers as a control, and a VU, and oh, by the way, a mic input. Fucking sold. Fucking sold. Anyway, we're done with this. We're done with this. We're done with this. I'm done with this. I'll see you all tomorrow.